get that energy up. We're gonna make a date cake. I see a lot of dates in the supermarket for Ramadan, and then I looked online, Jolly's California Dates. They have a recipe for an olive oil date cake. So I'm gonna use that recipe, I'm gonna link it here, and then I'm gonna modify it, of course, and make it my own. So we have, and dates are like royal food. Like I eat these after lunch because I need something sweet to get me through my day, you know, working my 9 to 5, like pop a couple dates. It's better than eating a candy bar, at least that's what I think. So I enjoy dates. It's like nature's goodness, mama mia. So my flour ingredients, I have baking soda, baking powder, don't ask me the difference. I have all-purpose flour, and then my little touch, some buckwheat flour. It's gonna add some nuttiness. And then in here, this recipe does not call for bananas, but I have some ripe bananas, so why not use them, right? Use what you have. Banana. A half cup of water, modify the recipe. Olive oil, it says a half cup. Let's do a half cup and see how it goes. The bananas add some moisture, that's why I'm adding a little bit less water. I think the whole recipe calls for a cup of water. This is my fat, so I'm not using animal fat. Well, I am using animal fat. I'm gonna use yogurt, Greek yogurt. Some oil. The whole thing, eyeball it. The acidity works well with the baking powder and baking soda too. Voila, that's my mixture. Now my dry ingredients, my flour, I'm gonna add some super dry brown sugar. And the theme of this video, I got my favorite Wolf shirt on, is I recently got into Dune, the movie. I have to see the second one. I haven't seen, I saw the first one, but I didn't see the second one, but I'm into it. This concept of a messiah or a savior, and you know, is it right to follow people or is it right to following yourself? So I also listened to a channeled message from Bashar. He's a galactic channeler. He channels a being, and he said that an example like Jesus never meant to gain followers. He wasn't doing it to gain followers. He was doing it to awaken people so they could be their higher selves, so they could be their own leaders. It wasn't to make people follow him exactly. And that's what I think a lot of sacred teachers, you know, whether it be Buddha or the Prophet Muhammad, they held this energy of awakening, and they wanted us to be our truest version, to realize that. And this is just my view, take what resonates. They wanted us to see the power within, that we do have Christ consciousness, that we do have God consciousness, but we have to believe in it. Instead, we externalize our power to outside sources, to people, places, and things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a teacher. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a mentor. Those are very important for life. But there comes a point where you take the lessons you learn and you steer your own path. All right? Jesus didn't do it for the followers. I'm not filming this video right now for followers, and in effect, I'm getting followers. As a matter of fact, I've changed my content theme so many times to represent different stages of my journey. This is about a half cup of brown sugar, that I lost like 15,000 followers after I stopped cooking with my Chinese grandmother. I have stayed true to myself by not taking brand deals, add some vanilla, that didn't resonate with me, not try to sell out like my family and do things that made me feel uncomfortable or put my family in difficult situations. This is some cinnamon. But it takes resolve to do that, because the opportunities tend to come, and it's like the low-hanging fruit. It's like, should I just take this opportunity? Things will be easier. But if it doesn't resonate in the long run, it won't be good, it won't be helpful. I like my honey and dates, ooh la la. The recipe calls for date syrup. I don't have any, but I got some honey. Another nectar of the gods. So these sacred teachers like Jesus and Buddha, I believe, and again, this is just a thought, okay? This is just a thought, okay? I follow a great person. I think his name is Bruno something. I forget his name exactly, but he came out with a video where when you have an opposing viewpoint, people begin to get defensive, and that's because they attach their self to their thoughts, to their standpoint, right? There's no need to, if you have a certain viewpoint, it doesn't define your identity, but we tend to do that so many times, whether it be like Democrat, Republican, teacher, or my job, or that sort of thing. But there needs to be a balance, right? If you attach your identity to your job and you lose your job, how are you going to feel? I used to love playing baseball when I was younger, but it got to the point where I was playing on 3 teams, playing like 3 games a day. I wasn't going to play in college because I'm not like the biggest person, and I wasn't like amazing. I was good, but I wasn't amazing. So it began to feel like a job, and I was losing like joy of playing baseball. So there needs to be a balance, because the pleasures of life, the delicious food, the good times with people, that can all turn into pain if it's unbalanced. This is how it looks. It smells good. Now we're just gonna add some nuts. These great teachers, these religions that we idolize, they wanted us to be, I believe, like our free selves. And if religion or any type of teachings are helping you and you use it for good, then great, while still holding on to your own path and still being able to make decisions, having that awareness. The same concept of religion can be used with different intentions. It could be used for control and power and controlling mindsets, or it could be used for expansion, for growth, for bringing people together. Okay, there's 2 ways to use the energy, but don't idolize anyone, right? Idolize yourself, because no one's gonna save you. The only person that's gonna save you is yourself. So why would you give your power to somebody else like they're gonna save you? Sure, people will help you. Like when I started my own business, like no one was really helping me. Like I had to do it myself and like get up and show up at the events and like run around. Like it was not fun sometimes, but I had the resolve to do it. Like my friends weren't gonna come and like buy all my cinnamon buns and stuff. Like I had to just go out there and sell it myself, like old-fashioned way. No one's gonna save you. If you're waiting for forgiveness for someone, forgive yourself first. That's how it starts. You gotta take back our power. If you give your power to, you know, an external thing like, oh, they're gonna come, they're gonna save me. No, it starts with taking back your power, realizing that once you believe in yourself, then it comes. Then it comes. It's a paradox. Once you realize that you have the sacred God energy within you, and don't take what I'm saying wrong, it's just the fact that you believe in ourselves. And this is what I was thinking about too. We are in a sense like a tree. If you look at a group of trees, right, in the forest, they look like one tree, one tree, one tree. But what you're not seeing are the roots underneath. The roots underneath are connecting to other trees. It's like a network, and they're all connected. And there's studies out there, go look at it, where if one tree's health is not doing so good, the other trees will support it underneath the roots. So you don't see the roots, it's like all connected underneath. So that's what I feel like we are. We are trees, we are individual trees, but underneath we are all connected. The same thing with what I'll call Christ consciousness or God energy. We are created from source, but it's about believing in source, and there's a ripple effect. When I do something good, it creates a ripple effect in the universe, in the world, to do something else good for some other people. So if you worship religion and you're happy with it and you have good intentions and you're not trying to control people, then that's great. Spirituality can be used to control people too. It's just how you use it and your intention behind it. So we need to look at things not always as they seem, but look underneath. Look behind closed doors. Because it tends to be what people do not understand, what people are not familiar with, they tend to fear, they tend to push away because they're not familiar with it. It's like if I was playing Chinese opera, no one would really understand what I'm saying and be like, oh, that sounds weird. Even when I listen to it, I'm like, that sounds kind of weird. It's because I don't know what they're saying. Okay, the same thing with another language. I don't know what they're saying. But when we realize that we're a tree and we have roots underneath, it makes sense because we all help each other, but we have to believe. I'll show you an example. I brought out like a mini bamboo plant. As you can see, the roots here, they're all spread out. So imagine that in the ground, the roots spread out underneath and they're all connected to each other underneath. So that's essentially how we are. There's always a balance, right? Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to stand up for what's right. But don't go out there like looking for a fight. It's important not to go out there and look for a fight and lose yourself. That's where the Messiah loses themselves, right? There should be no Messiah. We're all equals. We're all one. We're all that tree, okay? Don't lose yourself in the success. Be yourself, but don't lose yourself. Remember, we're the tree. It doesn't mean that you can't be a nice tree and stand strong. You most certainly can. but don't lose yourself. Oil, parchment paper on here. In my boxing class, there's a Chinese boy. He's like 15 years old or 14 years old. He's taller than me, and he's been training boxing for a long time, and he had just came to the United States from China last year, so he's only been here a year, and he boxes really well. So I went over to try to talk to him and be nice, and I said, why are you boxing? Like, how did you get started? And I'm trying to speak in like broken Mandarin. And he said, my mom made me. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Here are my dates. He just moved here from another country, and his mom wants him to not get made fun of, right? Probably that's how it is. I thought about it. It's not, I just took the pit out. It's not just training to fight people. It's training to have confidence, to know that if you were to get in an altercation or a fight, you could defend yourself. That goes a long way. I know from my childhood, I didn't believe in myself physically and mentally, so when people made fun of me, I let it impact me. But that type of training, that fighting training, is not only training you physically, it's training your mind, because things are all connected. Just putting the dates on the bottom. There's like a date upside down cake. I love dates. I just ate like 6 dates today, as a matter of fact. Let's take back our power. Let's be ourselves. And I'm not saying don't have a mentor, don't have friends, don't take advice. No, there needs to be a balance with everything. It's just that you don't need a degree or a formalized scientific study of everything. You just need to trust your heart to go within, okay? Rather than go look outside of ourselves all the time. Science, marketing, everything, it's great, but you can look at studies, you can find all the data, and you can leave out certain things and you can highlight certain things that provide a certain thought process or framework or opinion, just like I'm doing now. This is simply a thought. It's not my identity, it's simply a thought. The same thing can be done with science or marketing. So don't take everything at face value. Let it process through yourself. Does this resonate with me? Why am I eating this certain food? Why am I listening to this music? Why am I going to this school? Why am I doing this job? Why am I drinking this? Why am I dating this person? You know, just be more aware, be more intentional with our actions. Why am I making this cake? Why am I messing up the recipe? These are the things. Here's the cake. Why am I talking about this video? Why am I talking in this video? Why don't I just make the cake? Because that's my style. I didn't look at the algorithm of how to film a video. I just started filming a video. So don't do things for the followers. Do things for yourself. And in effect, you'll be a beacon of light and you'll inspire people to be the truest versions of themselves. You cannot make a horse drink, but you can lead a horse to water, okay? There's no messiahs out there. But there's people that truly are themselves, and they inspire me. And that's really what I'm trying to do, you know, with these videos, is inspire you to be yourself and love yourself and show up as the truest version of yourself, not be like me, not wear wolf shirts all day. You could look at this shirt too and be like, oh, wolf shirt is bad, but it's your perception. Cake down. Mamma mia. This looks good. This smells good. Now we're going in the oven. I'll put this on here just so it doesn't spill. For at 350 degrees for about 40-45 minutes. It's really good, just like this. And the olive oil, you don't even taste the olive oil. I mean, you do, but it doesn't taste like grassy. This is gonna be good. Start the day with hair is crazy. Took a shower, got some extra green juice. Oh, good morning, by the way. All right, here's my cake. It has sunken. This last thing. Voila. Okay. One, two, three. Wow. I gotta take a picture of that. Let's take a picture of that. Is it cooked in the middle? No, it's not cooked in the middle. That's why it's sunk down. That's why it's sunk down, gosh. It's really good though, even the raw part. See, there's a little bit of raw in the middle. I did the test. Check the doneness in the middle. It is done. See, it's clean. You know why I think it collapsed in the middle? Because the rawness doesn't really taste that raw. I added too much moisture. I added 2 bananas. The recipe didn't call for bananas. Then I added some oil and I added some water. Thanks for watching my video if you made it this far. Doing it again. This is definitely cooked now, and this definitely looks amazing. It's still moist in the center, you can see. Let's cut it. It's still a little soft in the center. Oh, that's much better. There we go, still moist. Look at the color from the buckwheat. So, I didn't add banana. I was mindful of how much liquids I added. Last time was the yogurt, the banana, the oil, the water. I think this is a lot better this time. Smells fragrant, caramelized from the honey. Wow, it's very like aromatic. The cinnamon, honey, and the buckwheat make it taste very like foresty. I think date cake might be one of my favorite like cakes. It's like carrot cake, date cake, cannoli cake, and then no more cakes. The date gets caramelized on top. See, the first time you make something, it doesn't turn out so well. Don't give up. If you believe in something, try again. Do it a different way, learn from your mistakes, and you make it again, and then it comes out nice. But don't get discouraged. Some things, yes, you should leave in the past, but other things, don't give up on yourself. Keep going. Cooking it for a longer temperature too helps.